One and it's recording. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Tune Up. My name is Marquise, aka I am underscore Mr. Crystal. And you can follow me on IG, Facebook, YouTube. And for those of you that missed the last couple of episodes, last week episodes was very, very powerful. They were the raw and uncut episodes. And today we're going to go a little bit beyond that, right? We went into paradigm last week. We went into health. We went into confidence, and we're going to expand on that, right? We're going to expand on, what we left off at, right? And so this week, right? First of all, I want to give gratitude and appreciation to each and everyone that gets on this call. So for everyone that's on this call, that's getting on this call, I appreciate you, right? I appreciate you. And we are appreciating, right? For those that see this on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or wherever this may land, right? Wherever this may be viewed at, we appreciate you, right? This call was really started to give back to people because, going through the day-to-days, it gets kind of tough. It gets kind of, lonely when you're doing it alone, right? And it's the difference between alone and lonely, but we'll talk about that at another time. But, it gets kind of difficult. And, when you're at war, when you're in battle, it's hard at times to really be able to expand your vision, right? You might be able to expand your sights, but you're not expanding your vision, right? So at times it gets kind of, we feel like we're unappreciative. And when it gets to a point where we unappreciate ourselves, then that's when, a call like the Tune Up, a book, or positive audio, or positive friends, positive business mentors, coaches, even people that's not mentors or coaches, it's people that in a relative field as you, right? Just come and say, hey, everything is normal, right? Let's just keep pushing forward, right? So that's what I do with my team, the AMG family. They know every morning I send out texts, keep pushing forward. Tell us today what you want from it, right? Because you're the manifestors of your days, of your life, right? A lot of people like, oh, what AMG stands for, it's all manifestation goals, right? Every day we are manifesting stuff, whether we know it or not, right? People like, oh, well, some of the other people that started this thing with me, some of them, a lot of them, are some of them are here, some of them are abroad, or whatever the case may be. But AMG stands for all manifestation goals, all monopoly goals, all money goals. You can do whatever with it, but the big one is all manifestation goals, right? And we created this called the Tune Up, just to tune people up, right? We know that for a fact that what you want is already created in the universe for the most part, right? You just have to vibrate on that frequency, high enough to that frequency to obtain those things, right? And, today is going to be a very, very powerful call. I know last time we talked about paradigms a little bit, and as above, so below, and we're going to still go on that. We're still going to go on the knowledge and the science of this whole thing and pushing forward, because that's really what people don't understand. Bob Proctor and a lot of the greats said, the hardest thing to get people to do is to think, right? Like, you can lead a horse to water, but is that horse going to drink the water, right? Or do you have to force that horse to drink that water, right? And it's really because as you guiding the horse to the water, the horse is thinking all types of things in his mind, right? It hasn't changed the way it's thinking, right? And if you don't change the way you're thinking, then what you look at will form to what you're thinking. So if you change the way you're thinking to something positive, what you're looking at will be positive. Your role, what you're manifesting, will be positive, right? So we're gonna bounce around a little bit. That's why the name of this episode is going to be the bounce around slash. I forgot the other name that I gave it. Give me 1 second. I will tell you guys. So it is the bounce around slash shadow work, right? And this all goes into the same thing that we're talking about right now, right? So, you know, what are you grateful for, right? You don't have to put it in the chats and things of that nature, but what are you grateful for, right? I would love if you do put it in the chats and put it in the comments and things of that nature. For those of you that's watching this on YouTube, maybe you can like, subscribe, and follow because we have a lot of big things coming up. We have a lot of big moves. Me and a couple of members of my team is about to make a really, really huge move. And you know, when we do that, it's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be uploading to here. And in that process, right? I'm grateful for you, big dog. Nah, you're a big dog, man. We pushing forward, bro. We pushing forward, right? Always. You know, with that being said, you know, we're going to be giving away to homeless. I'm going to get it on camera and things of that nature. I'm going to be documenting a lot of things, right? And the money that I receive from this YouTube page, most of it is going to go back into charity. It's going to go back into people. It's going to go back into helping people out of the war on poverty, right? Helping people out of poverty, right? Because the war of poverty is going to always go. It's just like the war of drugs, you know, the war on terror, like all these different wars, right? That never stops, right? They always go. So I was like, one day I was in Miami and I was chilling. We were on a boat, on a boat, and we're in the middle of the water. We're on a retreat, and I'm like, you know what can I call this? Like, what can, you know, because I have a, you know, like I have something where I say war and peace and whatever the case may be. But I was like, what can I war with, right? Because I'm not warring with myself anymore. I'm not warring with people from my culture anymore. I'm not warring with people from the other culture anymore. And I'm like, what is the derivative problem out of most of the stuff of the problems that's going through? Like, what is the solution, right? What is the one thing that's harboring and making families destroy, and what is the root of the jealousy, right? Because the root of all evil is not money, right? It's definitely not money, right? And any billionaire, any multimillionaire would tell you that's the one thing that you have to change when you want to evolve, right? You have to change the way you look at money, change the way you think about money, change your relationship with money. Like, money is my friend, right? Money attracts to me at each and every time of the day, right? Excuse me, not even each and every times of the day. It just attracts to me like abundantly. Like, it wants me, it wants to go in my pocket, it wants to fulfill the desires I have, and I'm allowing it, right? I'm allowing it, right? Not only for me, for my team, for my friends, for my business partners, you know, for the good people in the world, right? The people that's on these calls, right? More and more and more and more and more, right? So with that being said, you know, I kind of boiled it all down, right? Because if jealousy is the root of all evil, right? And then you're looking at things and you're like, wow, what are they really jealous of? Because then you can be broke, right? And then you still have haters. You still have people jealous of you, right? And trust and believe, I hit rock bottom. So I've seen, even when I was broke, people were jealous, right? And people looked at that as an opportunity to get above you, to get ahead, to stab you in the back, right? Because they feel like you're less powerful, right? But it's not, so it's not money, right? And then when it comes to jealousy, it's like, so then it all boils down to one thing, right? Two things. One thing is poverty, right? When people feel less than, they feel poverty, and they feel like they have to stab you in the back, or they have to do something wrong to get something right, right? Because their feelings are bad, right? So now that we got that out the way, right, we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear with me, to me, right? It's shadow work, right? Shadow work. What is your subconscious conscious telling you, right? We talked about paradigm. Let's talk about the subconscious, the subconscious consciousness, right? And a lot of people are like, what is subconscious consciousness? It's like when you're driving to work and you're thinking about something, you're literally not paying attention, but you're paying attention. You ever walked home, walked outside your house and walked to the store, texting the whole time, and you walked over potholes and cracks in the curve, you freaking kept going, you walked around people, you said, excuse me, but the whole time you were in your phone, the whole time you weren't looking, whole time you were listening to your music, right? But you still got to where you were going. That's something called subconscious competence, right? It's like when you know, right? It's like when you know, right? But the same thing happens to people at night, right? Same things happen to people when people get in people's ears, or they get a little taste of fame or taste of money or taste of some type of glory, right? Their true side to come out, right? In relationships, it may be that one day that, you know, you don't come home on time and your girl, all them pent up things that she felt for months just come out and you're like, yo, what the fuck? Excuse my language. She like, you like, oh, what the heck? You know, I didn't know you hate me. You know, like, damn, that's how you feel? Like, you know, and you know, that's the shadow work. So when all of us are meditating, we're going throughout our days and things of that nature, we have to make sure that we still are nurturing our shadow self, right? Our other side, right? Right? On a previous call, I said something about bring in as much good as possible until your lesser self become that, right? Until your lesser self becomes equal to your higher self, right? So it's no switch swapping. It's no switch swapping, you know? That's why I like to be a little bit of a mixie, right? And people will be like, oh, what's a mixie, right? A mixie is someone who can vibe with all different types of people, right? But people don't like mixies. Why people don't like mixies? Because they can't control them. There's no box to put them in, right? I spent enough time being in a box, right? Right? My room is shaped as a box, right? Your bed is shaped as a box, right? The TV that you're looking at is a box, right? This computer is a box. Your phone is a box. Your shoes come in a box, right? Dudes spend all this money and on females and stuff to get inside the box, right? That's what we call it, the box, right? All this stuff for the box. I don't like being in a box, right? Break outside the box. So that's why people don't like mixy people, because it's hard to control them. It's hard to control them. You can't say, oh my gosh, that person don't like, you can't use racism against them. You can't use hate against them. You can't, like, because they're broken out the box, right? That's why I say take your mind and expand it, right? An open mind, right? You think out of the what? The box, right? So when you think about this stuff, and hopefully I just planted a seed. So, you know, your next bed, right? I know my next bed is going to be a box, right? But after that, right? Once I, you know, not even once, because I'm already there. You know, when I want to, I will change the shape of my bed, right? I will get like one of those big old Shaquille O'Neal beds. It's just like a heart or a circle, you know, something like that. And, you know, I will have my room not being a box shape, you know, because we all want to think outside the box. You got to think, even in this call, like you're looking at it inside of a box, right? You look on the right, if you're on YouTube, you look at all the ads in there, there are in a box, right? Everything is to put you in the box, right? I think that's the one thing that, you know, Apple and things of that nature has to offer, you know, because their icons and stuff usually aren't in boxes. Maybe they are, but I know like on the Mac computers and stuff like that, it's circles and stuff. It's just more appealing, right? It's just like if a female come up to you and she like, hey, and you digging her and she's digging you, but she show you something different. She's not trying to put you in that box. You automatically gravitate to that, right? So many people gravitate to the pain, the hate, the trauma, right? But a lot of me and a lot of people that look like me or that's like me, or, you know, whatever the case may be, even if they don't look like me, whatever the case may be, people that deal with so much trauma growing up don't like trauma. They don't like trauma. They don't like drama, right? Because they already dealt with all that. They like abundance. They like comfort. They like consoling. It's so easy to just tell somebody, hey, pat them on the back, you know, jiggle their balls a little bit, you know, no, excuse me. I can't even say that, right? Because, you know, I put a disclaimer on that. I was not about to say that. Hopefully that cuts out. But yeah, you know, like, you know, make people feel good, you know, massage their shoulders, massage their backs, or whatever the case may be, you know, but yeah, you know, freaking, like, sometimes you have to stop dealing with that ego, right? Because ego leads to jealousy, to pride, to envy. Like, if somebody take a stab at your ego or make you feel a little less than, now you feel like you have to get back at them, right? That's where the hatred come in, right? But you're not hating them, you're hating yourself because you're so filled with ego. You're so filled with, oh my gosh, I got to live up to this name. I got to live up to whatever the case may be. No, you do not. No, you do not, right? Live up to your true self, right? So shadow work, right? When you're meditating and things of that nature and you're rising above, a lot of people like, oh, you know, how do I focus on my shadow work? Quiet your mind, right? A lot of us, when we're meditating, we put so much emphasis on our goals and not enough emphasis on ourselves, right? Vibrate higher with yourself, right? See a good vision for yourself, right? Vision that you are whole, right? Once again, like these calls are so powerful. I'll go back to another call that I did on the tune-up, right? Where I was talking about holy, right? Holy is not what people think where it's like, oh, we got to jump down the rabbit hole or that type of stuff. No, it's not that. Holy means you're whole. Like WHOLE, like why, like, or whatever you want to do is like, it's holy. Like whole as a whole, not holy, like, oh my gosh, like, oh, the Bible and holy and no. Because that was just a trickery that they used against you. They moved the W out the way and they put holy and then they put two L's. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, what is two L's? Two L's is really a W, right? Now, I mean, that's why it's like life lessons or losses and lessons equals W's, you know, wins, you know, I mean, but we'll talk about that, but it's really about that. It's really about how you feel, right? And being whole, right? Like, remember, like, and don't let anyone sit there and make you think otherwise because they're playing a game with each and every one of you, right? Each and every one of us. And I'm okay. I'm okay with it, right? Because as long as I keep, excuse me, not as long as I keep, because I am keeping, right, down this road. I am keeping being ahead of the game. I am keeping being highly vibrant. I am keeping being, you know, just you know, with the abundance of positive energy and hell and energy and health and moving forward, right? Pushing the culture forward, pushing myself forward, right? Obtaining more wealth, you know, and you are as well, you know, we all are appreciating. But excuse me, not but with that being said, I'll say this, you know, a lot of us, you know, have two sides, right? We look at it, you know, and we don't challenge or really what we feel, right? We think that other side is really us. But really, that's all the trauma, that's all the pain, that's everything that we went through, all the breakups that we had, things that we haven't cleared, things that I'm not even gonna say things that haven't been cleared, right? Because I don't curse anybody, peace, transmute that, peace, and love and healing and all that nice stuff, you know, but that's really what the case is. Like, all that stuff, like when you look at someone or when you sleep and then you're dreaming certain things or, you know, or like the hatred, right? You're like, oh, that's not really how I feel. That's not me. People say that, oh, that's not me. That's my alter ego. Oh, that's not me. That's just, you know, no, that is you. That is you, right? That is you. That's 100% you. Just because you hide that in the shadow, and as the days come by and the night, and you just keep on, you know, hiding those things, you know, that doesn't mean that it's not true, because it is, right? I'm not saying that's 100% how you feel, but when you have a bad day, if that's how you feel, then that wipes out the good days. We have a thing in this business, it's not about how much you made, but it's about how much you lost. Right? Not invested, not reinvested, but how much did you lose? If your losses is more than your wins, then you need to go back to the drawing board. Not leave the academy, not go search for a different pattern or a different product or, you know, a different educator, maybe. But first, write down everything. See what you can do better. Maybe you're taking 20 trades instead of just taking 3. Maybe you're taking, you know, your risk is super high to your reward. You know, I might not get into each and every trade I do, but when I do, I'm highly profitable. I can risk $2 to $3 and make $10 on a trade. That's wonderful. Risking $2, making $10. Tell me whose 401k is doing that in a year. Tell me who's who's savings plan. Like, who is doing that besides the drug dealer on the block, or the people that's in this profession, or the other investors? Who is doing those type of numbers? Who can double up, triple up, quadruple up, and more? So it's about learning the skill. Like, it's about learning the skills, it's about learning yourself, right? And that's one thing I like about this trading thing. And a lot of people are like, all right, what are you talking about? You're bouncing around. This episode is called The Bounce Around, right? So I am going to be bouncing around. But with that being said, I am partners with the I Am Academy, right? We teach people educational of Forex, right? The foreign exchange market, the biggest market in the world, trading $6.6 trillion a day. That's no cap. That's no cap. You can look it up, and that's being generous. People are like, oh, well, I trade in stocks and things of that nature, but the New York Stock Exchange only do about 15 billion a day. I'm not saying that you still can't catch a lick, right? I'm not saying that you still can't catch a lick, but like, tell you the truth, like, the licks is there all day. Whether you're in gold, whether you're in silver, whether you're in Bitcoin, right? We are going through the gold rush all again right now, all over again. It's like a big recycle sign, right? Now we have the gold rush in the 20s, right? Now we have Bitcoin in 2020, 100 years later, right? Visa is accepting it and giving it out as rewards right now. So you know how you get your frequent flyer miles, you get your cash back, they're giving you Bitcoin now. PayPal is accepting it as a form of payment. If you go around to stores, they have ATM machines just for Bitcoin, where you can cash in your Bitcoin and get out cash, right? So this is it moving forward, right? And this academy that I'm in teaches people, right? We have something called DCS, where it teach people about the cryptocurrency. See where we're going forward with this whole cryptocurrency and e-commerce and things of that nature. And speaking of e-commerce, we actually have something called ECX, right? And with ECX, it teach people how to capitalize off the e-commerce platform, off the e-commerce world, right? What is e-commerce? E-commerce is when you make a purchase online, right? So whether you go to any type of retailer online, or you click that ad that pop up on your YouTube, or you click that ad that pop up on your Facebook, Instagram, or whatever the case may be, that is what it is. That is literally what it is. That's e-commerce, right? And then we have something called binary. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm impatient. I can't wait for this pips. I don't know how it moves up and moves down and things like that. So they want their money in minutes. I do too. I'm a part of the HFX platform, right? I love that platform. What, in a minute? And then one day I was home from work when I was working, and I cut my finger at my job, and they let me stay home for a day. I made $60 an hour. Just trading $1 to $2, risking $1 to $2. Some of the trades I rolled over, which made me put in an extra 30 cents, 40 cents or something like that, but $60 an hour? I don't even know. Construction work is a good construction worker, maybe makes $50 an hour. Yo, HFX is hitting so hard, and we have something called cash traps, right? We trap the market in, and you just log in. And the thing about it is, a lot of people come into this platform and they're like, oh my gosh, like, I just want to know, like, I want to make quick money. Like, I want to be the best trader in the world. If you have products here, like, of course you want to learn the skill, because once you learn the skill, once you master this skill, just with a simple trading plan and technique, you can literally feed yourself for your whole life. You can feed your family for your whole life with just opening up your phone, connecting to Wi-Fi on your computer, on your laptop, or your iPad, or whatever it is, right? In literally minutes, right? But you have products. You have something called the harmonic scanner. You have something called, Liberty. You have something called Hourglass. You have something called Gold Cup, where literally all you have to do is copy and paste the numbers that they do. Or it tells you when to get in. It tells you when to buy, when to sell. At this number, buy. At this number, sell. It tells you, okay, how do you want to know if this is a valid trade? How do you know how would you know how to get the best outcome or results from this trade? Okay, how about you this is a point system. If this matches up, that's 1 point. If this matches up, that's another point. If this matches up, that's another point. Anywhere from 3 to 5 points, it's a great trade. Take it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to win. People are doing that and literally making money in minutes, right? And that's besides the regular Forex, right? Now, the regular Forex, that's my baby. That's what I do. I'm more of an analytical person. I'm more of a strategist. I'm more of, going in and one day I will teach this skill on the IM platform, but not now. I'm building. I'm helping my teammates and things of that nature. But yeah. So that's enough about that, right? If anyone is interested in, making some income residually or, going out and just, you wearing Gucci, you wearing Louis, you're promoting things all day, right? You have that, them labels on you and this and that. Like if you want to make a little extra bread, not even a little, like, cause you can make a lot of extra bread, right? But if you want to make extra money, right? Extra money, I'm talking about a life-changing amount of money, right? Talking about, at what I call comfort is chairman 10, right? That's $10,000 a month, right? That's like 3,500. Well, it's 2,500 bare minimum a week. That can change a lot of people's lives. I know people that don't even make 2,500 in a month. I worked at a bank. I know a lot of people. Literally, all you need is $100,000 in your account and you're technically wealthy. You can go to wealth management, right? If you become a millionaire, when you become a millionaire, I'm not even gonna say if, when you become a millionaire, right? I'll say this, with $1 million, you're literally at the top 1% of the world. Now, getting to the top 1% of the top 1% is, that's where the work come in. But when you make a million, when we make a million, you would technically be classified as the top 1% of the world. And that's just with $1 million, right? People like, just $1 million? Yeah, I said just $1 million. Just because $1 million is really not that much money. It's really not. Literally, you could buy a home, you could buy a car, like that, it can be out the window so fast. One bad investment, it's really not that much money, especially when you're looking at the market, when you're able to analyze the market and see what things go on and things of that nature, reading the news. Like I get the news the same time the news desk get the news. I know about the news the days before it happens, literally. And that's the benefits of being in the financial market, But to go back to bounce around a little more, how many of you guys that seen the last episodes actually use that technique of the vinegar, the salt, the water, put it in your bed, put it or around your bed, put it in your bathrooms, put it in your kitchen, because that makes a huge difference, especially with people that haven't did shadow work, because somebody in your face can be happy, can be, yeah, but they're dealing with things inside. So in your face, they might be good. They might, oh yeah, I kind of like them, but something's off. Something's off. We get those feelings, something off. Now that vinegar, that water, that salt is going to help negate that, right? Not make them better, right? But clean that energy. And hopefully when their energy is clean, they'll get a sign to make them better, right? To make them better, to actually do the work that's needed, right? Yeah, sometimes like, and it's okay because not everyone days is going to be higher highs. Sometimes you're going to get higher lows where you're still low, but your low is higher than your previous low, which is okay. And sometimes you might really retrace, right? You might really retrace to a lower low where you're just not feeling it. You're not feeling it. I had those days where I tell people like, yo, leave me alone right now. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Just leave me alone. Leave me be. Throwing some headphones and stuff. And that's what you really shouldn't do. Throwing headphones when you're at your lower low and listen to music. Oh man. Oh, you shouldn't do that. You should literally read a book, woosah, look at the trees, look at the sun, go outside, take some fresh fresh air, and that's why, another thing, like I said, me and my people are making a big move and stuff like that. But, and that's one of the things that I'm going to do, right? I got to make sure, my next apartment has a balcony, right? It has a common area, right? Everyone, get their own room in a common area and a balcony, right? And some place, you know, where the place might have a gym, or, you know, a gym nearby, or, you know, bowling alley, like something, because we cannot restrict people to their feelings. We cannot restrict people to anything, because not everyone is always going to have high days, right? And sometimes, some days, people just want to be left alone, right? People just want to go outside and just be in a creative space and meditate, or whatever the case may be. And you got to leave room for people to do that, just that, you know. What are you doing? All right. So yeah, you know, give me one. Yeah. So you know, every day is not going to be really good and things of that nature. You know, so at days you're going to have higher highs and things of that nature. So whatever that is, like, you know, definitely just keep pushing forward, right? Um, and the creative space of that, right? Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. My little cousin just playing too much. He's a kid and he just playing too much. But yeah, you know, so that's really what it is, right? Um, protecting yourself, right? Protecting yourself, protecting your aura, protecting, you know, things like that. Because, you know, you really, at any given time, you have to always have your energy clear, right? Because people don't know the evils that, or keep a blind eye to that. Like, you know, I have a saying, like, why go in line, right? Why follow the leader? Why go in line to people that are blind, right? That choose to be blind, right? It's not even about you just being blind, but if you choose to be blind, if you choose to keep a blind eye to your bullshit, right? I can't follow you. I can't, even 9 times out of 10, I really don't even want to be around you, right? Because that means you're unwilling to call yourself out on your actions. So that means if someone else comes around, right? I have this thing I say, you know, and it's not even a thing I say, it's just natural science, right? It's like, you know, freaking a negative times a negative equals a positive, right? So that's when the negative cancel itself out, right? So that's what happens when you put a bunch of people, negative situations, right? You put people in a building or in a hood or projects, right? And you take away jobs. So you have all these people boxed in. Once again, we're talking about boxes, and you putting them in projects, and now you're taking away their mean to provide for their family and their self, right? So now what are you doing? You're taking that negative and times the negative, right? And that's why you get people doing murders and people freaking, you know, yeah, you know, people doing murders and people ending up in jail and things of that nature. You know, that's just the negative, right? And then sometimes you get the you know, a positive times a negative equals a negative, right? So if you're going through something or whatever the case may be, and you know, or you're positive and you let that negative come in to your aura, if you don't have that salt, vinegar, water around you, or you know, sage or crystals or whatever the case may be around you, now that one negative experience can now trans can now, you know, mess up your energy, right? um so then you have the positive times a positive equals a bigger positive, right? So it's like when you link up with people, right, and their energy is just real. It just feels like you know them. It's like the hand claps is just official, and you know, even when you down, they bring you up, and then when they're down, you bring them up, and those are the type of relationships that I have in my team, right? That's the type of relationships my team has with my team, right? And that's the type of culture that we have and that we harbor and harvest and expand, right? Not only my team, but my company, these other teams that's in here, right? Because I appreciate everyone that gets on this call. I appreciate everyone that hears this call. I don't even care if you're not in my team. You know, they know. They know I don't, you know, maybe I met you, maybe I didn't, you know, whatever the case may be, like, you know, it's unique, right? Because I hold myself to that standard, right? To check myself on my bullshit, right? And once you're able to check yourself on your bullshit, you're able to check anybody else and hold those boundaries. Like, yo, this is not about to work. Not here. It ain't about to work, you know? And with that being said, it's like, okay, that's not about to work. And you're not going to come over here with that BS. But then people will be like, oh my gosh, da, da, da. Well, that's kind of aggressive. That's kind of mean. So call it whatever you want to call it. You know what I call it? I call it firm. I call it stern. I call it having boundaries, right? Not being taken advantage of. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your family. I don't care if it's your friend. I don't care who it is, because people don't care for you like you care for them in most cases. People care about money. People care about their job. You know, like Dame Dash said something really unique one day. And, you know, he said, I don't let my sons have a boss because that's like calling another man daddy. Do you want your woman calling another man daddy? Fellas, woman, do you want your man? And this is a big one. Do you want your man calling somebody else daddy? That's what it is to be calling your boss boss. That's how it feels. Literally, that's basically what it is. So when you're and I had a different episode, I think it was last week sometime, when I talked about you know, having what I said. I said something about going on, yeah, food stamps and things of that nature. Um Literally, you utilize that, but don't become dependent on that, right? Because that's literally with the government, right? I did a lot of knowledge and things of that nature, did a lot of knowledge of self. And I did some knowledge that a lot of people don't have, and a lot of people were mad that I took that knowledge and I was actually studying those knowledgeful things. But it was a play on, you know, the urban community, right? Where in the inner cities, where you get the people to focus and rely on government, right? Now, once they rely on government, food stamps, TRA, things of that nature, the women feels like you're not providing for their daughter, their sons, or whatever, right? The women, right? So now they're looking at the government as daddy. The government is the man of the house, right? So then they start putting down the men in the house, pushing them out, kicking them out the house, making them go sell drugs, or the male, you know, has some type of ego. So now he feel like he got to go out and sell drugs and stuff like that, get caught up, go to jail, come home, and the cycle repeats itself until the women feel like they don't need the man, right? And now they're literally just focused on government. The government is their man now, right? But, you know, and history tells, once the women push the male out, now they're unprotected. I don't care how strong of a woman you are. I don't care how dynamic of a woman you are. I don't care how many guns you own. I don't care. You still not protected. You're still not protected. You need a man there to protect you. Because once the man is not there, then that's when they come in and they feel like they can do whatever they want with you, right? It's just like what happened with, you know, the beginning of America, what I believe, right? I read in a lot of different history books and things of that nature, but it's like through like Thanksgiving, what happened? All the captains, all the generals, all the, you know, the Indians, right, went up to Philly, right, to sign to sign literally the peace treaty between, you know, they stopped warring with the folks that came over here on the ships, right, and was trying to take over Columbus and all his crews and stuff like that, all the people that came over here. And literally they made peace with them after warring with them crazy. They made peace with them, and they were like, you know what, we can share this land. And all the generals, all the big time people, all the, you know, the warring people went up to Philly with you know, those people to sign the Constitution, right? A lot of people don't know the Constitution has a lot of urban people signatures on it. A lot of people just don't know who these people are, right? Even they said a couple of the first presidents was, of color, of tonus, right? I'm not gonna get too deep into this, but that's basically what happened. They took all the men, right, all the man's men, and they brought them up to sign to Philly to sign the Constitution and to talk, right? Because that was the first capital of the United States was Philadelphia, was not Washington, D.C. And when they came up here, they were feeding them. They all had Thanksgiving. So then after Thanksgiving, they fed them and stuff like that. And then they gave them all smallpox blankets to sleep on. And it was just terrible how they did those people. And literally, if you really think about it, that's not the first time they did that, right? They did that with Jesus, right? With Jesus. That's after the Last Supper, right? So that's what I mean. Just always have that salt, vinegar, and that water around, and pay attention to people's shadows, right? Because who people are in your face, and pay attention to energy, right? Not saying that we're going to go through this or anything like that, but you have to look at history, right? You have to look at history, look at people's energy, look how people make you feel at all times, right? Because Jesus is the same way, right? He had all his boys around. That's why a lot of people don't bring their boys around their females, right? They don't bring their boys around their females, right? Because people have hidden agendas, right? But just be pure. Work on yourself. And the root of the basic of this call, the derivative of all of this is work on yourself. Heal your shadow side. Heal yourself so you do not become one of those people. It's enough of those people in the world. So we're not worried about them. This call and all this is to tune you guys up. It's to have you not be one of those people and to know what to look out for, right? So when you're meditating, clear your shadow side too, or just tell yourself, like I said, on every one of these calls, the thought equals the words. If you think something, you say it, now that's an action. You just keep on building on those actions, and now you're positive, you're clear. You healed your shadow side. Your shadow side is now your lesser side is still is your blissful side, right? Your blissful side is now your it's still your blissful side, but now your blissful side is now your blissful side as well, right? That's why I don't use the word bless a lot, because it means be less, right? It's be less, it's spelling, right? So watch what you put out there, right? Watch the spells and the things that you're casting on people, right? And if you are casting things, right, because things are being casted all over the place at all times, right? Make sure it's positive. Make sure it's positive, right? Have your shadow side positive. Have your shadow side abundant. Have yourself filled. So while you're doing these things, because you're going to do it regardless, right? Have it prosperous and healthy for other people as well, right? So I think we should end this call here. I think we should end this call here. It's been a very blissful call. It's positive. It's healthy. We all, everyone, even my little cousin that came down here and things of that nature, and just people don't understand everything. People are still into TV and stuff like that, and he's still a little guy, so I appreciate him. He's good, but it's it's a virus that's going on, man. And really, people don't understand the virus isn't AIDS, the virus isn't herpes, the virus isn't all these things that's going on, all these diseases that's now becoming eased and being healed miraculously out of nowhere, just by nature, just out of positivity, love, health, abundance of positivity, health, and abundance, and just recycling that, right? The health side of things, right? And really, that's the beauty of it all. That's the beauty of it all. You know, just being pure in that, just being pure in that, and knowing that you are now healed, and the world is now healing. Like every day in the morning, right when I wake up, I actually program myself to just to wake up and do certain things. Right when I wake up, literally my energy goes into a prayer, right? A prayer of blissfulness, right? Where my prayer goes off, right? Then I wake up, right? I start healing the earth, right? Start healing the earth. I start healing my body, right? Even when I'm asleep, I do it, right? And then I start healing the Mother Earth, right? All the women and things of that nature, because I believe, you know, as a man, our job is to nurture the woman, right? The women spend all their life nurturing us and things of that nature. And it's nice just to nurture the woman, right? Build the woman up, because if you build a woman up enough, then you really don't have to worry about anything. The strongest thing, right, you can ever do is have a strong woman by your side, whether that's a wife, mother, or whatever the case may be, right? But people make their own decisions, right? People make their own decisions. We can try to do that with our parents. We can try to do that with our siblings. We can try to do this, but then they get a man around them, that give them some, some Peter, you know what I mean, and mess their whole head up, right? And play on their emotions and things of that nature. And a lot of us used to be those type of people, right? I know I was back in the day, but I always kept it 100. I always kept it 100 with females. I always told females straight how it was. When I was a kid, maybe like, teenager, maybe, even before teens, I used to play with females' emotions. And I learned not to do that, because once you hurt a woman and you really see a woman hurt and break down in front of you, if you're a real man, that would teach you right then and there. Like, don't do that. So now I don't really play with females' feelings like that. If I like you, you're gonna know I like you. If I don't like you, you're gonna know I don't like you. If I try to like you or whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna sit there and cuddle with you if I'm just trying to smash. Like, I'm not gonna do that. You're not gonna be laying up on me if I'm really not interested in that way. If it's just that, it's just gonna be that. And if we get to doing it and something ain't right and stuff like that, then I'm just calling it off. Like, I'm not really a savage like that. Like, I don't need that. I don't need any of that. Like, what I need is nothing, because I lack nothing. I lack nothing. I have everything that I need. I have everything that I need already, and I'm a blessing. I am a blessing to everyone, and hopefully y'all feel the same way. And hopefully y'all listen to me. I know a lot of y'all are, you know, but, definitely heal your shadow side. We did a lot of bouncing around on this call. And the next 20 minutes, we do have another call coming up. Team, I need you guys on that call. The Level Up with Leash call. It is a private call for all my people that's watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're seeing this, wherever this may end up. Maybe one day this might even end up on a TV somewhere, once TV become positive, right? Once they stop programming people for the effery, right? Hopefully one day this may land on there. Or I could just do a branch off and do something like that, or, me and my teammates, or whatever the case may be, it's all positive, it's all healthy, it's all, abundance in that. And yeah, that's just really what it is. So, in the next 20 minutes, we do have Level Up with Leash. For the people that want to know more about what I was talking about earlier, right? The Academy, man, you can DM me at IAM_Mr. Crystal. And I'll link you in with one of my teammates, mentors, coaches, things of that nature. And we get you the information that you want and get you get you on the road. We do promos and things of that nature in-housely. So it is a benefit to join my team rather than different teams. I know a lot of different teams do it. So if you're on a different team, do not feel like you have to join my team. I don't, I will definitely not allow it in most case scenarios. If you come from another line or another team and you try to switch under me, I'm still giving you a bunch of value. I will actually love you more if you stay loyal and things of that nature instead of just team hopping and things of that nature. I'm a very loyal, by the book person. I think I'm one of those people that feel like royalty is loyalty. Like loyalty is everything, right? Even when you don't want to be loyal. Like, and I was so funny. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and I was like, I can't beef with family. I can't even beef with people that I loved at once. Like, I literally would just cut you off. I would cut you off. Won't talk to you. Won't hit you up. I see you. Yeah, what's up? We could talk about 5-10 minutes. We might even chill together for a day or two. But I will cut you off and keep on smoking. Keep it going. Keep on going. Because I can't beef with you. And that's how you can tell if someone really was for you or not. If someone can cut you off and keep going, or cut you off, period, just because some effed up junk that you did, that means that they care. That means that they will not accept. It's a boundary that you broke. They won't accept you be less your real self, right? They won't accept you be less of the person that you really are, right? I tell people all the time, you are God, you're a goddess, and I nurture a lot of people, like all of you that's in the AMG chat, every day, right? I attempt to do it every day. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the afternoon, maybe I might miss a day or whatever the case may be, but you guys can do it too. Just go in there and just spit some positiveness, right? It's like when you go into the booth, or you're a rapper, or you're a poet, or artist, right? Use that, right? And use the art of positivity just to go in the chats and spit some realness, to write some realness, to draw some realness, right? Draw that positiveness, that positivity into something, right? What are you manifesting? I get creative with this stuff. So when I send my coaches, my mentors, my whatever the case may be, when I send them messages, right? I'm creative with it. It's just like I'm in a relationship. Like, if I'm in a relationship, Valentine's Day, or if I want to be romantic, I am literally one of the most romantic people is, very creative. I go outside the box, literally, like once, like not even once, because I'm already a millionaire. Give me 1 second, guys. Anyway, once I'm in a relationship or whatever the case may be, I go outside the box. I'm one of the most romantic people. Like, when I want to be, literally, I can flatter anybody. It's if I choose to, though, because a lot of people don't deserve it. People have this thing where they have to use and abuse you. Like, and the more and more you give, right? Just because, people haven't healed their shadow work. They haven't faced their own demons. They just looking at you. They keeping a blind eye to their bullshit, and to their men's bullshit, and to their friends' bullshit. That don't work. I kept a blind eye before. I didn't really keep a blind eye, but I just, was just like, okay, and just let things go. And I had a half of an organization leave me, right? And literally try to snake and take everybody they could. I don't do that. It's not the blind leading the blind over here. We're very sightful, and we're very visionful. We have visions on the future. We know what we're going to become. We know what we're doing, you know? So I appreciate each and every one of you for getting on this call. In the next 10 minutes, the next 14 minutes, we have Level Up with Leash. I am going to unmute everyone, or allow everyone to speak on this call, and just give some insight about the bounce around today that we did, about the shadow work talk that we did, and just give some feedback and things of that nature. All right, so you're free to do so whenever you want, if you want. Anybody? Okay. All right then. Never mind then. So I got you, bro. Oh, I gotta go, bro. I know, it's cool. You don't have to. I think that actually is enough feedback for me, right? That's enough feedback for me. That's literally enough feedback for me. That's enough feedback. Like, people are literally putting into manifestation what we talked about. So that's literally enough for me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Next up is Level Up with Leash at 11 o'clock. You all can DM me if you want to. Nah, you good, bro. If you want to get on if you want to see these, right, replay these, look at these at other times, you can definitely do so on YouTube, right? Type in the tune up slash dash the bounce around shadow work, or whatever the case may be. Whatever that tune up episode name is, it will be on YouTube by the end of that day that it plays. For the most cases, it will be up by the end of the day. Literally, usually within like an hour or two. So yeah, so you can always go back and replay these. Also, I sent out a thank you text for people that get on these calls from the texts, from the chats, with the YouTube link on there, so you can go replay it. You can like, subscribe, follow, share, things of that nature. And once these calls get to the numbers that they're reaching, we will start giving donations with the money that we're getting, and the plaques that we're getting from this channel and from these calls. We're giving them away, to different people and different mentors and things of that nature. And I appreciate each and every one of you for getting on these calls, man. I ain't gonna say any names because this is a public call. And I don't know if people want their names out there like that, but I really, really do appreciate y'all. Some of y'all are very, very loyal from day one. I appreciate you. And just keep on going. Just keep on going. And we all good. We are good. We are great. We are blissful. And that's what we are, So I love you all. I catch y'all tomorrow for the tune up for another mystery episode. And yeah, man, literally this call was so insightful, and it just dropped bombs on everybody. And just opening up your mind, man, getting you out that box, right? I love each and every one of you. And I catch y'all tomorrow for the tune up. Peace, love, and light. Peace.